How to Train Your Dragon live action 4K HDR, all the good stuff in IMAX. I didn't see it in IMAX. I would have loved to, but the closest theater is like 200 miles away. So, you know, hey, screw me, am I right? But guys, was it good? Let me put it to you this way. I went into the theater practically rolling my eyes. You could have called me a walking hater. However, I'm a changed man. Don't be mistaken like I was. This isn't your Disney's Snow White or, God forbid, your Disney's Pinocchio. We have ourselves DreamWorks' first and potentially last foray into the realm of live-action remakes, for better or for worse. Let me hit you guys with a controversial opinion, all right? This is the only time I've watched a live-action remake, and by the end, I genuinely think this movie is better than the original. Just give me a second. I'll explain my points, all right? To give myself some credit here, I grew up on the original animated films, right? All three of them. I collected all the McDonald's toys. I played the crappy Wii game where you can train up to 5 dragons, even though there's 6 in the game. I even bought the soundtrack with my allowance of $5 a week at the time. I adore the original. When I heard they were remaking it, I was on the front lines of the protest. How could they possibly do such a beautiful film justice? Let me tell you what you do. You bring the co-director from the first film to write and direct the second one. Here's what you do, let me tell you. You take the co-director of the first film, make him the main director and writer of the live-action remake, all right? So you still have that original vision. In fact, the original OG director, Chris Sanders, went on to say that the only time, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, the only time that a live-action remake is acceptable is if there is a reason for it. Is there an actual purpose in this becoming live action? Is there any benefit whatsoever? And the thing is, for all of the Disney ones, there hasn't been one at all. And like the one that everyone creams their pants over, The Lion King, what benefit does that possibly give? They're less expressive, it's boring, yet it made $1 billion. You know what I mean? So with this one, what is the point of making it live action? After watching the final product, I see it. Chris Sanders, you son of a bitch, you've done it. With the first one, Don DeBleu, I'm reading the name right there. That's the main director of this one. He did an incredible job. So this whole episode that we're doing right here is going to be me convincing you that the live action has a reason to exist, right? Because the main haters that are going to be behind this are the ones that are so attached to that animation that they just can't let go of it. And I'm telling you, guys, look at me in my eyes. I'm telling you, it's okay. Do the Mufasa, do the Scar thing with Mufasa. Let him go. Let him go. But here's the thing. When Mufasa gets to the bottom, he's not going to die. He's still there. You can watch the animated film anytime you want. The whole point of this one is it fleshes out what the animated one did so well, so much better, right? Let's take the entire village of Berk. We get a lot of it in the animated one. However, in this one, the armor is more intricately designed. The sets are beautiful. The buildings are so good. It looks like they took them out of Game of Thrones. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little, but they look really good. And there's just something about seeing all of it done so well that is so satisfying. It builds the world so much more. Let me give you the polar opposite example. You know, Snow White's on the top of my mind, right? That was the most recent Disney live action remake aside from Lilo and Stitch. And in that one, they had this like crappy medieval town, but it was like 4 buildings wide. They're all cookie cutter. It looks like you're in green screen land. That's exactly what it looks like. And this right here, I couldn't tell what was green screen. I mean, you have the obvious ones like the dragons. I'm talking about the town, right? When they're walking around the town. If that was on a green screen, well done. Damn good job done. That was incredible, right? Second part, the dragons. While the dragons, yes, they are less colorful. The blue ones are less blue. They're more of like a darkish blue. You know, the red one isn't really as bright red, but it's there. I think that that is perfectly fine, right? But what we trade the color for is we trade it for such detailed designs, right? You see every scale, you see every little tiny detail on these dragons. The monstrous night terror one, whatever it's called, the red one. There's one part where it's breathing fire. There's flames dripping off of its back. Yeah, that's in the original, but in this one, it looks so realistic. It looks so cool that that right there is worth it, right? But aside from the environment, how do the actors hold up? Astrid is the obvious outlier. That's the big controversial one. Her skin color doesn't match. You son of a bitch. Let me tell you, if that is something that you actually care about, that this make-believe woman in this make-believe universe doesn't have the correct skin color, I'm sorry to say that's a little cringe, my guy. But you know what's actually crazy? For those people that irritates them, they actually explain it. Isn't that crazy? They didn't have to at all. They could have just had, you know, people that weren't white in the film and it would have been fine. But in this one, they explain that, you know, the whole village is made up of different tribes and different villages, all of them across the world, that have come together. They're the best of dragon tamers. They've all accumulated to this one village. So it makes sense there's different ethnicities here. So I think that's cool that there's little details like that. And again, that's another thing that the live action does really well. Because it's a little bit longer, we get to spend more time with these characters. We get to spend more time in the town. We get to see new characters. I mean, at least I don't remember Snotlout having a dad, but he's in the film. So we get to see just a little bit of extra character development. Is it important? No, not really. But it builds up the entire town so much more. So you understand how they're reacting to things. It's just super exciting how much more they're able to do with this. That's not to say the movie doesn't have its issues. It certainly does. When it came to the portrayal of a few of the side teen characters, it took some getting used to since the OG was animated. That version is inherently going to be more expressive with their animations, and they kind of try to do that here a little bit. Not as bad as like the Cowboy Bebop anime live action adaptation, where it's like really cringe TikTok, like ah ha 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 ha. not like that, right? But like if someone's mad, they'll throw their arms up in anger. And we see this especially in this one scene where Gerard Butler's character is in the middle of this like meeting, and he's explaining to essentially all of the background characters why they should go on this expedition to find the dragon nest. And just sort of the way a lot of the background characters are acting, it's a little over the top, and we kind of see that for the main teen characters a little bit. But it's not enough to make it annoying. That's honestly kind of my only gripe with that specifically. But I think Gerard Butler and Mason Thames, who, by the way, he's like 17. Dude, like, that is insane. He did a good enough job to make any theater major cry into their wallet. How to Train Your Dragon 2025 is an incredibly rare outlier in the live-action remake department trend as of late. It's the only movie I can 100% say is on par, potentially even better, because of the detail, because of the background stuff, because of all the little things that are added to enhance what was already there. It has all become better in this live action one. This is the only remake that I can definitively say there's a reason for it to exist. It gets an incredibly surprising 9 out of 10. Guys, please go see this so we can get a remake of the second film. That one is much more emotional than the first one, in my opinion. And I think, again, because of those extra details that we're getting, I think it's going to be done incredibly well. I never thought I'd sit here saying to go out and watch a live action remake. Guys, it's worth it. Trust me on this one. That's the fun part about seeing movies day one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sub for more like this every week. Am I dead wrong? Please tell me in the comments. Let me know. Let's have a discussion, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.